I'm trying to figure this out. Sorry, guys. I'm very not good at doing live streams, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm trying to do this. We're using Ecamm right now. I still don't know how to do this right. Oh, okay, okay. Ooh. All right, I think we're there. I think we're almost there. Figure this out. Sorry, guys. I'm very not good at doing live streams, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm trying to do this. We're using Ecamm right now. I still don't know how to do this right. Okay, I think. Okay, okay. Ooh. All right, I think we're there. I think we're almost there. All right, so I can see the comment section if I open up a new window. Up, there we go. Comment section is up. Okay, I'm figuring out this Ecamm thing. Right now, guys, we are on Ecamm. Cam is in the building. We are live. I got influenced to do some anamorphic live streaming because, you know, I got Blaze our lenses too. We could all chill out together. Let me just right, I gotta calibrate this guy. So you figure this out. Oh, there we go. Are my horizon lines like am I pretty good on horizons? Because I don't really know. But oh, okay, we look crispy. We said we look crispy. Cam said I look crispy, so that's all. That's all the what's it called? The validation that I need. Right now we are on the Blackmagic Pixis. I'm using the 45mm Blazar Remus lens. Today we're going to be talking about filmmaking on YouTube on easy mode. I think there was a little bit of a trend outside of the space about YouTube on easy mode. I guess a lot of small channels are getting pushed into the algorithm, which is great. And I want to talk about some of the things that you can use if you decide that you want to do this. This was going to be a live stream a little bit ago, but we're here now. Cinematic streams are becoming a thing, and I'm here for it. Yeah, same, man. Let me just organize some stuff, because this is a new angle in the office. For you guys that don't know, I share this office with my lovely girlfriend. I said lovely because she could hear me. And what I'm trying to do is I was looking for the most amount of depth I can get into a room. And like this angle, like this kind of where it is now, this is the best I can get it to look. So, it's going to be weird because I got to check the chat on a regular basis. But let me just put this guy on its head. And let me know if, am I sharp? Absolutely. We are sharp. And Cam, if you're in the chat, let me know, do I have to keep my YouTube live window open in order to get this done, or can I just close it and just use StreamYard on its own? Also, how do I get rid of this watermark? I think I'm using the trial version right now, and I just set it to like automatically charge my card later. But our lenses are professional for live streams. I mean, like, there are some people that think that, and there are some people that are right. So I think any lens that you put on a camera that you could light well, and you know, you have proper set design, you could use potato lenses and it'll still look pretty good. In fact, by today's standards, a lot of the lenses that you guys love are kind of potato lenses. So, okay, so I don't think I kept mine open, so I think you're good. Okay, so what I can do then, because there's like a weird delay, and I think that's why even when I go on like Cam's live streams, like I'll look at the comments and then I'll look at like how far down he is. I'm like, oh shoot, like, okay, there's a thing wrong here. So right now I'm using the DJI Mic 2, this guy, and I picked this up on Amazon. Like I might do a video on like this live stream setup, but picked up a DJI Live Mic 2. That's connected to the Pixis because it has a 3.5mm jack. Sony, take notes. That guy is hooked up to the Blazar Remus 45mm, and I'm using the Focus Pro motor with the hand unit, and that way I can pull my own focus whenever I need to show you guys stuff, because the Remus is not an autofocus lens. And in terms of lighting, like right now, I could open it up, but like that would be more window light. Don't like that because it's kind of blue, just because we don't have direct sunlight in the house, at least in this room. So what I'm doing is, because all my walls are kind of like a cream warmer tone, and I did that on purpose when we were moving in. I'm actually bouncing light off of the wall. So like, let me see if I can just turn this over. Like my Nanlite Forza 300 is quite literally just bouncing off a wall and I'm letting the return come back on my face. I wish I had a little bit of a brighter light because like yesterday night I had like this really dope underlight, which we'll kind of get into, but I want to add some like blue into the background to add a bit more contrast. But right now we're going with the warm look, and Cam said anamorphic live streams all 2025, and that's how we're doing things. Beckham Williamson, how does the stream quality look so good? So this is a combination of two people's suggestions. So Terry was using Ecamm Live. I was using Riverside for a long time for live streams. I found out lately that Riverside, even though I've done some work with them, I now have a paid membership, which isn't a bad thing. Just, I thought it would last a bit longer. So I decided to get the Ecamm trial, try it out. I kind of prefer it. I don't need to record this stream. So there's that. But we're using Ecamm Live in order for me to hook up the Pixis through the 3G recorder that's going through the SDI and then through Thunderbolt into my computer, and that acts as a webcam. So if you guys don't know about like Blackmagic stuff, like they do make great cinema cameras, but they're also big on the live production broadcast side of things. So they make cameras that you could do stuff like live streams on pretty easily. And I mean, like, if we didn't use this 3G recorder, I think you could technically do it over Wi-Fi, but I just like a more secure connection. Might get one for news photography. Hang on one second. I think I read this. Oh. Are we able to get links on the DJI mic holder? Yeah, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know how to adjust descriptions yet. I'm still figuring out live streams, but once I get that finished up, on the replay of this, when I cut everything down, I'll put the links for everything that I'm using in the description. So you will be able to get those things. I wonder if I move this light like a little bit more. Oh, there you go. That's like a nice little highlight. I also moved my desk in a weird, nonsensical position. This is in front of the mirrors on closets. I don't know if you guys have mirrors on your closet, but it looks nice in videos. Why are we using anamorphic manual focus lenses on a live stream? Branil Chowdhury, Mr. Chowdhury, because we can. Honestly, there's no other reason for it. Hey Kofi, hi chat. I am mobile, so can't stay for long, but I'm happy to stay for long because I'm happy more creators are going live more often. This is the motion for the community needs. Yeah, man. Me, Brandon Washington, Terry, Cam, a bunch of us, we've been talking about a little bit about going on live a little bit more. Not only because I think it goes a bit deeper with the audience, but also like, there isn't, like, it's kind of nice to just kind of upload something, be able to, like, shoot the crap for a couple hours. And once it's done, it's already done, right? And it also gives an idea of, like, you get to see kind of who creators are outside of the waiting for the next tutorial, waiting for the next product video, or waiting for the next, like, super highly produced video. And sometimes, honestly, like, it takes a long time to do that. And I'd rather spend 2 hours on a day between shooting some other stuff and do it that way. I like the warm look. Thank you, sir. Painting this room was specifically for that purpose, although it's like sometimes too warm, and I do have to figure out ways to get some more contrast in here. Brandon never goes live. Brandon Washington just finished his live stream. Right now they're redoing their office. I'm not sure. What do you mean, Alton? One Shot Nas, my man carrying the FX30 content train torch because I don't have one anymore. I have to change my description because I recently, like, I kind of got rid of my FX30 a little while ago. But yeah, Nas, I hope you are enjoying your FX30 and everything you're doing with it. You're doing great stuff, man. Livestream Kofi for 2025. Groovy Foo, actually probably the person that has commented the most on any videos, and YouTube tells you who comments the most. I think we're doing live streams like weekly almost. I got the Atomos Ninja phone, which you can live stream through your cell phone's data connection. So if I'm traveling somewhere, I might try to pull it off and see if it works. But I think we're going to live stream a lot more. Kofi, we need haze and smoke. Say less. Y'all said you wanted haze and smoke. Oh, this is dope too. I could walk around my house with friggin' audio still. There we go. We got the shill haze going on for this live stream. So, just so we're aware, the filmmaking YouTube on easy mode, the whole thing is just talking about how to make things a little bit easier for you. And if you guys are considering creating content, whether it be on YouTube or anything else, like what things to kind of worry about. I'm going to cough really badly on this. That was not a good decision. Ken Hamlet. Ken, I owe you an apology. I think I saw your Instagram message and then it expired. I was in BC with no service. I don't have my Nanomorphs anymore. And for a very unfortunate reason, I got into a car accident after that video. I was renting a Turo, and it was a very unexpected amount of money that I had to pay. And I didn't have that. So my Nanomorphs ended up paying for that. So wish I had them. They're great lenses. They're super clean. But yeah, I got into a car accident, and I need to, sometimes you got to offload a couple pieces of gear begrudgingly in order to make sure that you're all right. So that happens. That was a little while ago. Guys, if I'm not sharp anymore, you're going to have to tell me and be good friends. Put on a mist filter. Not the same thing. Putting real haze inside of your room and getting a mist filter kind of do the same thing, but a little bit different. And that's from a guy who has... I have 6 different types of diffusion filters with a 7th one. Just so you guys know, if you guys were wondering about the physical product I was talking about a little bit later, you may see it. You may actually see it in this video, depending on when UPS gets here. Sigmund, hey Kofi, love these live streams, but for some reason I never get a notification and have to watch on demand. Not this time. Yeah, honestly, I think we've been I don't have scheduled lives yet, so they might just kind of pop up as they happen. But yeah, I think that's probably why. But also, I think if you turn on notifications, it might notify you about live streams. I don't know per se or exactly. I remember watching one of your videos about your backlog. How many edits are you backlogged right now? Right now, I am entirely caught up. So right now we're into January. It's January 3rd. First video is doing really, really, really well. I didn't expect a photography-based video on this channel particularly to do well, let alone a Fuji camera, not a Sony. So that's doing well. So I'm going to let it rock for a bit. And I got a couple of videos that are going to come out only on Sundays. They're not going to have any cuts in them. They're very much going to be just on the microphone talking about stuff. And one of them is 7 things I grew out of as a filmmaker, cinematography techniques that I want to try in 2025. And I'm toying with one idea of the 5 times that I got hired because of the channel, outside of YouTube. And that one's an interesting one, but I feel like I started making it and it felt a lot like, look at me, here's all the stuff that I've done to succeed. And that was kind of weird. So I might have to rejig how I want to convey that message, because there has been a few times where even some of the clients I've had over 2022 to now have all been from hey, I saw you on YouTube. I have no idea what you're talking about with this camera gear, but your stuff looks good and you sound like you know what you're doing. You're hired. Can you shoot next week? So I'm trying to do that a little bit. Wait, Ironhide was cooked or was a car accident? No. So Groovy, this was when the Nanomorphs, I sold them, this was way before I bought my Bronco. This was when did I shoot that? It was the last wedding that I shot. And I think that was, honestly, I think a week after the Nanomorph video, to be honest with you. These last two, plus it allows us to make a break. Yeah, honestly, it's a nice 2-hour break from some stuff. Appreciate the recommendation on the PL adapter. You're welcome, man. Honestly, with PL adapters, there's no electronics, right? So you just have to find one that doesn't get stuck. I have a DZO one that I think I threw out recently, and the first one I got was great. The one that they sent me with the lenses that I have over here were great, but then I bought another one from B&H on my own, and it was an E-mount one, and it literally got stuck. It didn't come unstuck when I bought it, and I never ended up using it, and I don't like returning things when I buy them from the States, so it ended up sitting in my closet for a year, and I threw it out, and I lost $100, so don't do that. Gotcha, makes sense. Any opinion for 7 Artisans 35mm T 2.0 Cine lens for Sony? 7 Artisans, the brand of lenses I've honestly never used. So, from what it sounds like, it's great. I wouldn't feel comfortable giving an opinion on something that I've never actually seen in real life. So, from the people that use it, I would say, I think Jason Morris has a video on them. So, I would try to look at that. But anyway, so if you guys are looking at starting either like a filmmaking or video production channel, or like just making content in general, I think the idea that it's on easy mode just means that like there's no longer this weird thing on YouTube where like all the big channels content gets pushed. And I think a reason why that happens is, truthfully, I don't think a lot of those bigger legacy channels are posting as much. So what's happened now is on YouTube in particular, I've noticed it, and I've been really like tracking this for a long time. The demand is higher than it's ever been, but the supply is actually decreased by a bit. Like we have the whole the kind of exodus of a lot of people that have been on the platform for like 6, 7, 8 years, and they ended up leaving the platform either through burnout or like they just weren't in it anymore, or maybe they just had other businesses outside of the platform. And what happened was a lot of like smaller creators like myself and other people, that demand kind of shifted right to us, and collectively we do things a little bit differently, right? For better or for worse. And I think that's even going a step further because even more people that have been there since like 2016 aren't as frequent on there, right? So that demand of people getting into watching YouTube for pretty much anything has gone up, but a lot of the new creators coming in, they're starting to see that trickle down of that demand, right? So, Cam with a super chat, $9.99, protein shake funds. Actually, I bought protein bars because we'll talk about like fitness stuff later, because I have kind of goals on there that I don't know if I want to put on the channel. But anyways, speaking of kind of how YouTube is going now, is there's the bigger takers of the market share are no longer there providing, which leaves a lot of demand on the table, which is where you're seeing people come from. Now, in terms of how to go about it, truthfully, and one of the biggest things that I did was like try to figure out start with 1, 3 is great, but 3 types of people that you want to provide value to. And oftentimes that's going to be the person that you might have been or the position that you were in a few years ago. So for me, there might be to be honest with you, like I didn't necessarily need a FX30 as an A camera, let alone I didn't need to make 68 videos about it. But in the midst of me using like an FX6 or a Red Komodo, or like the odd time there's a bigger camera up there, being sympathetic to the people that might watch that stuff and say, I don't have $20,000 for a kit. It was valuable for me to make valuable content for those people, so they have a stepping stone for eventually when they get into an FX6 or an Ursa 12K or an RE Alexa or something like that. And that was kind of like who I'm talking to. Like guy I was talking to 2 years ago, right? I'm not necessarily going to tell you what content to make because some people like certain things and some people don't. I'm a tech head. I like gear a lot, but also the second archetype was who, like me looking back at myself in 10 years and like documenting like stuff that I didn't understand at the time, but I understand now. So like videos like overcoming the fear of RE cameras because I hadn't used one in a significant way. That might not be for someone I was 2 years ago, but it's someone where when I'm like in my 40s, I could look back and be like, this guy's an idiot. He didn't know how to use an RE Alexa and it's super easy. So like there's stuff like that, right? So try to figure out archetypes of people that you want to help. And oftentimes it's people you've helped in real life or somewhere where you were, and make videos for that person. And every time you make a video, it's the idea of like, is that going to be valuable to the archetype or one of the 3 people? And generally speaking, you're probably going to fall somewhere on the lines of like, you've made a good video that's valuable to somebody else. I'm going to go to the chats. Jarrell, what up? What up? Let me know how the office updates are going, because I just saw the YC Imaging live stream. Fun fact, I think Brandon was talking about how YC just told him about like how he liked his thumbnails, and that kind of like solidified it for Brandon. I don't know if you guys, like most people don't know this, but like I think the first YouTuber that I ever spoke to was YC a year before the channel started. And basically he sat me down for like 2.5 hours and basically told me like, I have no reason to not do YouTube, and essentially helped me set up the channel, helped me set up, like try to go to B&H, trying to get my Amazon affiliates going, figuring out how to make digital products and stuff. Like he actually like walked a lot of that through for me. So in terms of having somebody kind of like bring you up the elevator, I think that was YC for me just as much as it was for Brandon. So that was cool. Just because it's not Sony, Canon, or wait, hang on. Your sports comparison to the creators seen on the Mid Convo podcast was on, man. Oh man, if you guys haven't seen that podcast, that was really fun. But the Mid Convo guys with Paul and Ed, they came up to Toronto, which is odd. They're both not from here at all. That was a fun convo. So if you guys see that at all, that'd be cool. Recently just started watching your videos and have really enjoyed them. Thanks, man. I binged your Blackmagic Pixel 6K videos and loved your take on the camera, and you didn't just write it off. Oh yeah, like, so here's the thing with, like, especially if you're in the camera tech space, every camera is made for somebody, and I think getting very upset about what things might it not be for, generally speaking, isn't really, it's not productive. It's not a productive conversation, because the idea of like one man's trash is somebody else's treasure, right? So that could be for multiple cameras. I think the Pixis has a great value proposition. I think it's a great system to get into if that's the way you want to go to. Really enjoyed the videos. Thanks for being real. Thanks, man. Some people think that this overwhelming amount of positivity, using big words and talking fast, is a character. If anybody in the chat has met me in person, this is actually how I speak in real life. So Anamorphic Live is dope. Yeah, this is influenced by Cam entirely. I bought a set of Blazar Remus lenses, mostly because I tried to work with them and they said no, so I just bought them anyway. Okay, so we got some questions. What's going on here? Anthony, you know what, Anthony? Here's the thing. You got to make vertical content for years. No one said anything. No one batted an eye. But now that you're watching Anamorphic live stream, everybody's losing their minds. I'm joking. We're doing live streams in in Anamorphic. I don't know. Okay, Sigmund's question. How important do you think first impressions are on YouTube? I feel like I may be spending too much time pretending or prepping a particular look and style similar to what Apple delivers TV spots. Sigmund, I'm going to tell you, doesn't matter. Because, like, the relevancy of, like, your video diminishes the next time you post the next video, and you're completely okay with, like, not being good at videos to begin with, because it's truthfully, like, it's honestly expected. You can redefine how your channel looks and feels at any given time and as many times as you'd like. And most of the time, as long as it's 1% better than the last time you were there, like, truthfully, no one really cares. In fact, I think there are some people that prefer, they kind of see where you came from versus to where you are. And that helps a lot of people kind of, like, humanize the experience of consuming your content. Like, I still have some of my terrible, terrible videos that are on the channel, and they're not great, but it contextualizes where things started to where they are. All you need is someone to believe in you, for real, to get you going. Honestly, that's literally it. Like, you'll probably, like, just by virtue of being on the platform, you're one step closer to that. I can't remember what the book is called, but it's about having 1,000 true fans. But, like, you only get that by showing up. That's fire. I've always had a feeling that YC was a real one. YC is one of the funniest people in real life, I would say, on YouTube. Also, Turn It Up with YC Imaging was hilarious, but those are stories that will never see the light of day. Is there a video talking about how to do those things, like how to make money step by step? Nas, there's a ton. Like, I think the hard part with step by step, like how to make money videos, is it's kind of like explaining a stock. Like, once you've said it to the masses of people, the stock is no longer valuable or as valuable. But also, that not to say that, like, hey, gatekeeping's cool. I think it's to say that, like, it's really hard to pinpoint each person's individual scenario in order to make, like, how to make money step by step viable in a way that, like, anybody can consume it, right? Because there's some videos that have to do with YouTube even that I'll watch and I'll be like, that doesn't do anything for me, right? So it's kind of the same thing with freelancers. So I don't know, there definitely isn't a one video solution or even a few video solution. I think you got to almost, like, curate your own experience on the platform in that kind of content and then pull that back and see how it works for you, similarly to, like, buying a camera and stuff like that, really. The camera hating community is just a joke. Honestly, it's not productive. I've been to more than one public event, and if anybody truly has those feelings, then they could tell me. But I don't know. 8 events later, no one's really said anything. So I don't really think I don't know if it's real, or at least under those wings. I don't want to really dive into it much, though. Did you watch the season finale of Dragon Ball Daima? I have not yet. I'm on episode 7. I'm on the episodes before seeing the much spoiled Vegeta doing a thing, which I'm not going to spoil for anybody else. I may have bought some Remus lenses because of Cam. Well, you should have bought them because of me, Anthony. I'm just kidding. What camera are you using right now? Blackmagic Pixis. One time YC randomly texted me and it felt like the president was texting me. Yeah, if you get a random text from YC, it feels like Obama's called you to the Avengers. It's even weirder when you see him like call you, because then you think you're in trouble. Last year I faked it till I made it and made 5K USD more in 2024 than 2023. Well, then I guess you didn't really fake it then. You made it then, technically. You made that, unless the money's fake, then you did it. Nice to see you live. Thank you, man. I'll do one more often. Was there a moment for you where you wanted to show your personality more rather than show the typical camera tech bro? I think all my videos kind of had, like, it was hard for me to not have personality in videos, and I think I would hate making them, and I find when I have to hit points, I'm terrible at doing videos. So, like, I can one take, and this has literally happened, and there's witnesses, I could one take a whole YouTube video. Like, and that's why I batch record so much. But the second there's, like an ad read that I have to remember what the things were, that'll take me days. And it's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, like the Fuji video, outside of, like, getting photos in the intro, took a night to do, and took me maybe like 3 or 4 hours to finish that video. But getting the Angel Bird part of it, I've tried in 2 countries and 2 provinces, and then just ended up doing it in my office. So I think, I don't know, hopefully that there's always kind of been personality in videos. Just started shooting on a cine lens and using manual focus. Any suggestions how I should shoot in practice? John, one of the things I'd recommend is, like, have someone or something move, like, closer to you and farther than you, and get a feel for the focus ring on your lens, and maybe do it for like 30 minutes a day, and your ability to manual focus gets extremely better. And then, like, each week, like, go down by a third of a stop. So if you're like 5.6, that's going to be easier than like T 1.5. Each kind of day, just, like, you know, kind of, it's like training, right? Like you get, like, you progressively overload. It's a stupid analogy for lenses and manual focusing, but you're constantly kind of going down a stop and then trying it from there and seeing if you can get better. I think Daima is way more interesting than Super just saying power scaling problem is solved. I find with Dragon Ball I've given up, and, like, anime in general, I've kind of given up on, like, the power scaling argument, because at the end of the day, like, I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to see people throw hands. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen makes 0 sense in terms of the scaling, but I'm just trying to see people get jumped. So, like, that's where I'm at with it. Do you have a DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, or Final Cut, or does it depend on the project and client? I have used DaVinci Resolve since the pandemic. So once I got a Blackmagic 4K, 2020, I think in April, I hadn't used anything else since. And because at the time Premiere was crashing all the time, I never looked at Final Cut. I never looked at Premiere. By the way, your input in the Cinematic Eye course in AOD was great. That's also how I learned of your channel. Oh, respects, man. Yeah, if anyone's in AOD, Art of Documentary by Mark Bone, there's a section, there's a cinematography section where I have a couple of videos with Mark Bone, and I have another one, I think, on camera movement, which is really cool, and it was really fun. Fun fact, I live down the street from his office, so, like, I could kind of just, like, I just walk there and bug him whenever I feel like it. Although he's not home as much, which makes me sad. But if you guys are interested in AOD, if you do get it, get Cinematic Eye. You might see a familiar face. Kobe literally shows his personality in all his videos, hung out with him, and it's a little cooler than the other side of the pillow in person. This is the comment of the day, and I can't... Oh, can I favorite comments? Oh, yeah, I can. So I can favorite comments now. That is my favorite. Marcus is one of the nicest people on, like, in filmmaking that I've met in real life. Also one of the very few people that are taller than I am. Marcus brings a very unique type of chill to the rat race that is kind of like filmmaking and, like, trying to prove yourself and, like, doing all this other stuff. And oftentimes when, like, my wheels are spinning, especially when, like, you know, you get overcome with adversity, like, Marcus will call me and drag me out of that. So I appreciate the comment, bud. I appreciate you more. The focus practice, get a big 7-inch. Yeah. Getting a bigger monitor definitely will help with focus. I struggle hitting points, to be honest. Yeah, raw dogging it feels more natural. Honestly, I do that a lot, but then sometimes I'll get an email back being like, hey, love the energy in that video. I don't think you actually talked about what we needed to. And that happens often, so then I have to do it again, which sucks. I like done with the fact that fights are in 1 or 2 episodes. No more 10 episode charges. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z was dope when like you had to wait for new episodes and it was like one of the only animes you could watch. But when you had to wait like 6 months for the Frieza fight to end, it was wild. What was your favorite? What was your favorite moment or play back when you played football? Um, Believe it or not, and I think it was like the year before I went to university. I heard of somebody. I got really, really mad. Our running back, I think he like busted his leg or something, and I realized that I play football way better when I'm really pissed off, and I'm pretty sure I jumped over somebody standing up. Which imagine someone my size jumping over someone standing up. It's wild. Kofi, the new dash cam. How do you like it now? You spent longer time with it. Also consider shooting cinematic vigs from the dash cam POV. I don't think that's been done. Rob, so I still am using the Vantru. When I made that video, I left to BC for a couple weeks, so it took me a little while to get it set up to the car battery and not through the cigarette lighter. Get it hooked up to the car battery, so that way you can use the parking mode on it. It won't necessarily stop somebody from breaking into your car, but I leave it on so when I check it at night, I could see if like maybe that person's come back and at least have like some information, because I'm sure the person that like got the stuff out of the car like looked around and stuff, and if the car's locked and they didn't want to make a sound, like it's a little bit of a deterrent. But I do like it a lot, and it's like you can get oddly good quality out of it as far as dash cams go, which is weird, but that's also because it uses a Sony sensor. I keep seeing you pop up on AOD videos. It is great. John, which videos? It's been a while since I've done. Oh, that's why we did a thing in Create and Earn where Mark goes over my channel when I had 2,100 subscribers or something in 2022, and we did a follow-up video. So it might be where you saw it, but I actually don't know. This live is great. Can you give us advice on exposing in low light on the Sony FX30? Carlos, I think I have this many videos on the channel about it. There's one called, I think it's like low light techniques or something like that. You'll know it because it'll have like red and teal lights in it. There's another one, I think on CineEI, and that's usually how I use it for low light. Spoiler alert, I don't use higher ISOs in low light. I kind of put more lights in it and use aperture and like hope to God that's where I get it to go. There's a couple of them on the channel already, but there are some. Do you have a dream project for 2025? I don't want to jinx it, but there is a company that you've seen on the channel where I may get to go to my country of origin, which is Ghana, West Africa, and do a really cool project on it. So that'll be the dream project. I usually don't like the stuff that I do, no matter how good other people like it, but I think this one is going to be good if it actually gets pulled through, which will be great. I feel like Kofi is a vibe to kick it with because I may not have saw the clip. Oh yeah, if you scour the internet long enough, you'll find clips of me dancing. Just they're hidden. You gotta go out of your way to find them. Big hope over 50,000 sub. How's the film community groupies like? Rob, I don't really meet people that recognize me in real life unless I'm at an event where like that community is there anyway. Outside of that, incredibly unlikely. But inside of that, it's really cool, and like even to the point where like I'm a bit overwhelmed because I'm like, oh shoot, people like know what I look like in real life, and it's super weird. But it's really humbling, and it's really dope, and it's something where I like doing public events because it's nice to share and like meet people in person. Oh, there are so many comments, and I'm struggling. I'm trying my best. Carlos, when you first started filmmaking, did you go all in, or were you doing something else on the side until you make enough money? I worked as a personal trainer, and I worked at a camera retail store, and I maybe should have stayed there longer, but I felt like that if I put pressure on myself, then I would perform. And yeah, that's what happened. I probably shouldn't have done that. Wasn't financially responsible, but yeah, I did work at a camera store and as a personal trainer. Omar, how tall are you? I am 6'1". Weirdly enough, people think I'm a lot shorter and a lot smaller in person. I'm a 6'1". I think I'm like 320. We're going to go into the fitness side of things because I would love to get back down to like 260. I was like in good shape at 260. So yeah, I'm about 6'1". I'm built like a nose tackle, essentially. I see that you had audio issues on your last upload too. If you haven't figured it out yet, find the culprit is. I figured it out. We are good. I think on the dash cam video, I I think I actually like typed in, I put in the, what's it called? Noise reduction on those DJI mics, and I didn't realize it. So post some of your football clips on Shorts page on YouTube. If I could find them, honestly, man, like stuff from like football, bodybuilding and stuff, I don't know where they are. Truthfully, I don't know where they are anymore. Like it's probably on an iPhone somewhere in the house, because I didn't back things up, and I kind of like, I didn't care. Like I didn't care that was the one time I didn't document it as much as I thought I should. But if I find it, yeah, it might go up. I don't have a external monitor right now. Just bought a Sony ZV-E10 Sigma. That's not a bad combo. Yeah, shout out to the AOD fam. Great seeing filmmakers, homies grow. Hey, respects. There's a lot of AOD people in here. Hang on a second. Is it beneficial to go to NAB? I've never been to the event, but Marcus tells me it's good to go, especially as a content creator. What do you think? Do you plan on going this year? I think going to as many public events as you can socially and physically do it's never been a bad thing. I mean, it depends on what you're going there for. Like if you're going there because you want to close brand deals or whatever the case might be, like you might not be going for, at least from what I'm realizing, is the right reasons. But I do think events like that is a great way to like kind of get face to face with people that you have on email, but not for the intention of like making money, but just so if I meet you face to face, the next time we have a communication, it's a little bit easier for us to understand where we're coming from. And maybe months down the line that would happen, right? Like, again, on two sides of my mouth, I was a unique case where when I went, I only started working with brand deals after NAB, but I think that was a different circumstance, I think, at the time. But I'd say go for it. If you have the time, you have the money, I would recommend going with some people that like also are interested in going to NAB as well to make the cost a bit more efficient. Go for it. You probably won't spend a lot of time at your Airbnb or your hotel, though. You probably will be out for most of it. Howdy, small question. Currently FX3 looking to upgrade my first box camera. Would you go with the Pixis or the FX6? Conquera, it depends on what you shoot. I would say I wouldn't try to make the Pixis solve FX6 problems and vice versa. If you're someone who needs autofocus, you don't mind the form factor with the handle kind of look the same. If you're someone that needs autofocus and built-in NDs, there's nothing I can tell you that's going to tell you to not get the FX6. The Pixis is going to be something you might look at. Will you be linking up with big production companies when you do the project in Ghana? Their film industry, especially the music section posts, are pretty world class. I hope so. Like I have a couple contacts there, and depending on which month that I end up going will dictate whether or not that happens. So hopefully, because I'm not super plugged in with the Ghanaian filming community. I planned on going there in December. So if I don't go in the spring or the summer, then I'm definitely going to go in December. So hopefully, but Rob, if you know anybody, that'd be great. Anime review channel when? Honestly, Solo Leveling just premiered today, season 2. I thought about it. I think if this channel starts to slow down and I need like a separate outlet, I think having an anime channel would be kind of dope. Ayo, Preston, what's good? Zombie House, can you show the red Komodo build live? Who gonna tell him? My GA sold my red Komodo X months ago. I think you might have got into the channel before that happened, but I sold it. I used that money, invested in land, and then I pre-ordered the Pixis, and then Black Magic said, don't worry about it, here's one. So then I put that money into buying property as well. That's what happened. I don't have an external monitor right now, just bought the... Mr. Chaudhry, I don't know if that... Are you asking a question, or I don't know if you're asking me if you need a monitor. I don't know if you're asking me if you need a monitor, or if you do need a monitor, let me know, because I'm not sure. I don't know if that was the correct answer. Happy New Year, bro. Question about your experience with the Pixis 6K. Oh, geez, there's a lot of questions coming in fast. The Pixis 6K, have you ever found a lack of ProRes a real problem in your workflow? As the Azir, there's only one client where I think that's going to be a potential problem. And I think I'm just going to get the video assist to do it. Either that or I might have to spend some more time doing DIT and making ProRes files. That's honestly the only thing where, and it's not often, it's maybe like 1 or 2 clients. And like, I don't know what that retainer conversation is going to look like. So it's only been like once or twice. So it's not often, but yeah. Scott was listening to your mid-convo pod today. It's a Ko-fi day. Yeah, I feel like what ends up happening in the suggested algorithm is that like if you see like one video and I'm either live or I've posted a video, like it'll get suggested next, which is kind of dope. Scott, I am going to try out your power grade. I saw it. It looks really, really nice. And the second I saw the thumbnail, I will watch it. I just haven't yet because I was picking up all of the like capture card stuff for the Pixis. Oh, solo leveling, that first episode. Yeah, hey, Jacob, no spoilers, eh? No spoilers on solo leveling. There are a few things in this world that I hold dear to my heart, and it's whenever new anime comes out, if you don't say anything, leave me alone. Let me live, okay? FX3 Komodo, which one is better? Context, bro. I really hope, and again, Zombie House, I am not picking on you. I'm picking on the question. I hope in 2025, when we want to know what the best camera is, we have some sort of context and criteria that we personally have in order to weigh what a camera provides against it. Because saying this is the best camera, I don't think is necessarily, it's not a productive statement because there's so much nuance, but also it might not be the best for you. So there's that. Let's go. We hope you're good. Hey, Justin, Happy New Year, bro. Merry Christmas. I don't think we got a time to chat during the holidays. I hope you're good. I hope the family's good. And hope to see you guys. Hope you see you come back in Toronto. I think you were in here long enough. And that's me being selfish. I love your video so much. I have a budget around $1,000 USD. Want to buy a camcorder for my work. Don't need autofocus. Hopefully it's not 1K for camera and lens. But I think you can find a Pocket 4K. But it depends on what you're shooting too, man. There's like the ZVE10 Mark II, which has the FX30 sensor. There's a couple cameras, but I'd say like maybe between the ZVE10 Mark II and like one of the old 4Ks, you could probably get for cheap. But leave some money for lenses though. Oh, asking tips to manually focus without an external monitor. Same rules apply. Just turn on your focus peaking and hope for the best, because focusing without a monitor is kind of tough. So, thanks for answering my question. Your huge inspirations, best wishes. Oh, thanks, man. Do you have any recommendations on Canon M50 lenses? Zoc, I wish I did. And the hard part with Canon is they don't share with nobody. Like, getting the C80 was super surprising because Canon has made a point to like not send people cameras out to test out, to like flesh out. And it's not even like, I don't even want to keep it necessarily, but I think that it would help a lot if they did do kind of the same thing that a lot of other companies were getting. So I've never had an experience with the M50 nor knowing any of the lenses and stuff. I've been using Monitor Plus. Yeah, you could use the Monitor app. Yeah, you can use the Monitor app. That's true. It's a bigger screen. Also keeping things. What's up, everyone? Hey, what's up, Emerson? Which is better for cinematography and ISO performance for video quality is better than the FX? What? Hang on. Again, man, it depends on what kind of cinematography you do. Like, again, it's kind of like I need a car to drive me to work, but I don't tell you how far work is, right? Or I don't tell you where I work, and those kind of things are going to be different. The FX3 obviously it doesn't have RAW in it, and it has more frame rates. So if you need those frame rates and you need autofocus at those frame rates, it has a larger sensor. Like, those are things where you have to consider that. I don't know the answer for you because it's gonna, like, that answer is gonna differ depending on the shoot that I'm on. So like in general cinematography, I would just say like get the thing that's gonna fit what you shoot around the most. And go from there. Ooh, I have a order that got shipped, and I think it's coming to my house today. Nikon bought red. Honestly, Nikon buying red's not the worst thing in the world. I think we might be a little reactive to that acquisition. Also, nothing's happened yet. Like, outside of Nikon getting red LUTs, nothing's really happened. Also, if you guys want to know anything about my my relationship with Nikon, leave a 1 in the chat because there might be a thing I have to tell you. Thoughts on getting a recorder versus monitor? Been looking at this Shogun for a minute. I use the Atomos Ninja 5 quite a bit with the FX6 and the 30, delivering ProRes and even sometimes ProRes RAW when I had like bigger projects and I just wanted like the extra little bit that you can get from it. It depends. If you're set up for the workflow, if you have a lot of hard drive space, then I would get a recorder. But if not, it might not be that worth it for you. How many people have come across in conversations and started wanting to be an infant in the camera? Well, hang on. How many people come? I'm going to read that again because I'm confused what that means. Oh, there's a ton of ones. All right, bet. How many people have you come across in conversations that started wanting to be an infant of the camera and ended up... Sigmund, can you write that one again? I think I know what you said, but I don't know. Canon's M mount is dead. I do think they discontinued it, unfortunately, man. Got one to BTS. Yeah, the reason why they probably got it for cheap is because I don't think they're what's it called? They're supporting anymore. I work in commercial advertising. Then just, hey man, if you're in commercial advertising, you got the budget, rent them. Like my zombie, my best recommendation for you is if you're in commercial production, you got the budget. You could rent a camera out for a day rate, and that would be able for you to decide for yourself. The best camera in 2025 is the James Webb Telescope. NASA makes the best cameras. Hey man, if I pull up to set with a telescope, I think I'll be sent home. All right, ones. First DSLR was a Nikon D3200. Haven't used one since. I've never used a Nikon camera. Like car commercial poster ads. Yeah, so like it depends. So if you're shooting a car commercial, you might look at a global shutter camera depending on the shots you get, or you might look at the FX30. Again, Zombie, I don't know how to answer that question for you. I'd say rent them both and see how it works for each job, but I use so many different cameras for different things. There's no such thing as the best camera to me. Like that's what I've learned from it, at least. Bought the XLCS full metal jacket for my Pixis. Love the tons of mounting points. What's the full metal jacket? That sounds kind of dope. Thanks, may get the same one. I set up my own NAS with Ugreen. Yeah, so we know the Ugreen one that goes because I have a Synology DS418. What tripod head do you use? I have this busted Sunway photo tripod. Unfortunately, one of the things that got stolen out of my car was a tripod. However, perhaps during the stream, I have one from Thalcam that's coming in right now, and another one from Sure, and one from Ulanzi. Mostly because I have, like, if I have a 2-camera setup and I want to leave, like, one tripod at home, like one I travel with, and then one that's, like, smaller. I mean, the Sunway photo one holds up. It's super heavy, and it'll break stuff. I accidentally broke the rear view, or the rear mirror of a Uber by accident going to Japan because it fell out of my bag and literally fell on the corner and shattered the whole thing. So it's a heavy duty tripod, but just be careful with it because it's hurt more than it's helped me. Sorry, autocorrect. How many people have you come across that started wanting to be on camera and ended up having a bigger passion for being behind the camera, or vice versa? A ton. Actually, I think a ton. I think there's a ton of people that, like, especially when you're trying to get into the industry a little bit more. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm not super far deep in it. Like, I kind of pick and choose what I want to take on. But some people will find over time that they prefer to be on one side of the camera or the other. That kind of happens a little bit. Like, I feel like that happens a bit, especially when, like, it's not busy. You start to think about, like, oh, well, like, you see people making content. Like, let me try this. And then you realize, like, hey, I actually like this a lot. So it happens a couple times. Not often, but, you know. That's happened to me, Sigmund. Okay. Our Alexa, if it seems like in my budget, if I rent it, I should just buy it out. Come out as one. Yeah, man. I just buy a Komodo. This easy thing. Yeah, man. Zombie, with finding the best camera, man, it's such an individual experience. And like the reason why like I buy and sell stuff all the time is the work I'm doing drastically changes like every 4.5 months. And then I have to be like, oh, well, that doesn't work anymore. Okay, well, I'm going to just like make something else work instead because you have the ability to, which is cool. What up, Aaron? Who's the one creator you low-key fangirled over internally when you met them in person? Don't know. I don't think I think because I had other YouTuber friends prior to getting on YouTube, I don't think I had that. I had a lot of appreciation for YC because obviously he was the person that like sat me down and slapped sense into me. But I wouldn't necessarily call that fangirling. I fangirling for directors. Like if I see Morgan Cooper at any time, or Ryan Coogler, yeah, that'll be a fangirl moment. But in terms of like people on YouTube, not really, because being around it outside of like when you're freelancing, like you just realize they're people. I thought about the Komodo X also due to possibly shooting car stuff, but the Pixis really far more affordable. I could always upgrade to the Komodo later, repair too, I guess. Yeah, Azer, you could technically. I mean, you could always just rent the Komodo and then keep the Pixis. If like car stuff isn't the only thing you're doing, like you could go either way. If it saves you money, like that's a context where like if it saves you, like if the distance between the two of them is like, oh, I want to save money, I want to save money because you can always rent. How's the quality of the GFX 100S? I don't know. I've only used the 102. Build quality of the GFX 100S is also, I think, exactly the same as the 50S2, kind of the 100S 2, and the 100 Mark 1, a little bit. Found you through Cam Mackey, just subbed, love the content. Hey, respects, Cody. I think someone yesterday said they found Cam through me, so this is kind of a weird, like, Avengers thing going on. Hey, Matt Dang You, what up? That was also a great podcast we had too, man. I want to do that again. Actually, Matt, we gonna chat and like we gonna chat. We're gonna have a conversation a little bit. I got some questions to ask you. Big Kofi, are they dumb? Don't kill me. John, also I just made up that accent. That's what I thought Starter Pack sounds like. I have no idea. Any advice for someone who's trying to balance full-time work as a filmmaker and YouTube at the same time? Give yourself the space, especially now, to not think that you have to post on a certain cadence because obviously you still have other things going on. And also, like, kind of going back to like the whole filmmaking on easy mode thing, because truly, like, if your subscription feed is only comprised of like people in the camera space, photo, and film niche, there's not as many posts going out. Like, it's not like the frequency isn't crazy anymore. At least, I mean, outside of like myself and like maybe two or three other people, that doesn't set the standard for in terms of cadence, in terms of posting. I wouldn't like attach yourself to like how often you should post on there. If you show up twice a month, you show up twice a month. So that would be something you want to consider as well. Yeah, most traditional DPs don't own a camera. Nas, I agree with you. I will also say, though, that based on how the industry is right now, I think you're going to see a lot of untraditional things from people going forward. Got the Autos and Blazers. I think I'm chilling on lenses for the next couple of years. What's your favorite budget cine lens? I don't know if I consider it budget, or some people might not consider it budget, but I've been rocking with DZ. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get this focus rack in. Oh, I can't do it because the minimum focusing distance sucks on anamorphic lenses. I forgot. But yeah, DZO Vespid Primes. Did I get it right? Yeah. So yeah, I've been rocking with DZO Vespid Primes for quite a while. If you want to talk about resilience and trying to work with different brands, I think I made 8 DZO based videos before before actually working with them, which is kind of funny, but also it paid off in the end. Fast renting. Top 3 movies for you right now. Oh, I haven't watched a good movie in a minute. I mean, like, I'm a comic book nerd, so Deadpool 3. Hey, man, ask me that again. Ask me that. I haven't watched a good movie, man. Omar, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I haven't watched a good movie in a long time. But if you mean, like, all time, I'm going to go with Avengers Infinity War. I loved Inside Man, and there's a documentary on crump dancing called Rise. Those are my top 3 if I had to say something right now. What's your top 2 go-to music? Hey, man, I've been listening to some anime friggin' intros for weeks now because some of these animes have fire tracks. So outside of Kendrick Lamar, a ton of J-pop. Send me a DM. I got answers. Maybe. All right, you might know what I'm gonna get to. 100% nailed it with the Toronto accents. Kobe, try to do some of these live streams more often. I think whenever I'm home, that's probably when they're gonna come up. One of the big things this year, especially in Q1, I traveled more times in Q1 than I think I've done in 6 months any other year. I leave to CES on Monday. Today's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. Damn. I leave to CES on Monday, and I'm out of the country 3 times in the month of February, and then I leave again potentially in March. And I may, if I decide to go to Australia, if you know, God willing, and I can afford it, and there's reason to go, I might be in every continent in the world actually in 2025. So that'll be cool. Young filmmaker, what do you think is the most important thing to think about when starting a filmmaking business? Making sure you have your paperwork, contracts, and all that other stuff. But instead of making just spec projects, try to make case studies. That's something I want to do this year, where I've kind of put up like 8 different types of projects I want to do. But instead of just like making the video and then calling it a day, making like a full case study. So that'd be video, photo, even maybe a testimonial from the client or whatever the case might be, if it's with like an actual like beta client and not just a spec project you're producing. But then also having like a good quality behind the scenes video. So when clients are like, oh, we don't know who to go with, you get to see what it looks like, the photo coverage, and you get to see the behind the scenes, which is also great because it also works on YouTube as well. Truthfully, right now, and like a lot of my friends in the industry are struggling for work right now, right? And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of filmmakers jump on YouTube. I've seen many of people go from like working on Drake music videos and stuff like that to just like taking a salary job until kind of things figure themselves out, which means that there's a great opportunity to practice the craft in a low risk environment. So building up case studies and not just spec projects. What Focus set do you have? Is that the DJI one? Yeah, that's the DJI Focus Pro motors, like outside of the Focus Pro stuff, just using the motors with the hand wheel, it takes like 10 seconds to calibrate. The hand unit is pretty decent. Like it's actually really good. So, and it's super easy to use. And like with the Pixis, if you get the Ursa handle, you have the little rods at the top. So like it's a really easy thing to kind of get on. Favorite horror movies. I am a big fan of Grave Encounters. If it counts as a horror movie, Alien Romulus, mostly because it was just solid. It was a solid movie. I liked it. But those are my 2. 2 streams in 1 week spoiling us. Yeah, one was a tester stream, and then I don't know if you guys know this, but like me, Cam, Terry, Brady, and all of those guys, like we all like I think almost daily have a conversation, and I got peer pressured into doing anamorphic live stream, so now we're here. Also, I have no idea how many people are watching the stream, but there's 23 likes, so if you can be so kind. Oh, there's 47. Yeah, run them likes up, bro. Have you considered doing any log phone video? Yes, Adam. The only problem is that I got ND filters from Moment, and I found out the hard way that ND filters for your phone shouldn't stay in your pocket. And I broke them like the first day I got them, and I asked for new ones, and I think they actually ended up sending me 2 phone cases by accident instead. And I don't have an ND filter, so it's hard to get the proper exposure. So yeah, I do plan on doing it. I haven't reached back out to them and asked like, hey, can you send ND filters? Because I don't need 4 phone cases. Yeah, I don't think you need every piece of gear, but it's good to have some basic set. A camera, yeah. Azer is actually pretty correct. Like I think it's great if you're getting into like freelance video production. I think having a kit where if somebody calls you like the night before, like you're ready to go, does go a long way between like camera packages and lights and stuff like that. That's super, super helpful. And then when you have jobs that have a bit more budget, like that way you can go into the camera prep and rental stores and stuff like that. Try to keep like, for me personally, like I keep an A, a B, and like 3 lenses that are like just in case someone's like, hey, I need this thing and it's tomorrow. But then again, like truthfully, kind of being more into YouTube, like a lot of those things I say no to a lot more. So it's really made me reconsider what I want to keep in my kit. And also because of recent developments, like I don't know what I'm gonna do in terms of like what my like a camera is, because there's so many cameras in the house. Which brings me to that thing I promised I'd tell you about in terms of my relationship with Nikon. I'm not under NDA, but they are going to send over the Z6 III and the ZF to test out for, I think, ever. I don't know yet. I don't know. Sometimes with like getting camera gear and stuff, I don't know if I get to keep it or anything till like midway through. But yeah, no. So I should pick that up in CES next week, and we're gonna test it on the desert, and that's gonna be dope. And I'm gonna take my Fuji GFX 50R with me, which I'm enjoying a lot. It's a really nice camera. It's not the newest thing in the world, but it's really nice. Have you watched Arcane? Of course. So, Jacques, I watched season 1 and caught up on season 2 in Arcane in 36 hours. I came in the last third last episode, and I was caught up like from the day before. So I watched it. We're gonna get a Kofi crumping video only if Simeon joins me. Me and Simeon have been talking about getting a session going. I haven't in a bit. I'm a lot heavier now, so it would hurt a lot more. And I don't know if I'm as flexible, and I might hurt myself. But if I don't, hey, you might see some stuff. You might see some weird stuff in 2025. Just be prepared for that. Yo, I've been tapped in. Rise is one of the films that made me want to pick up a camera and dance for real. Yo, Rise is one of the, I'd say, like top 3 documentaries. If you have not seen Rise, it's about how the South, how the California street life kind of gave birth to crump dancing. It's really dope. It's a really dope documentary. But yeah, one of my favorites. Small budgets, I mean. Oh, hey, we got something at the door. Wait. My girlfriend's getting it. She's so nice. Kofi's a weeb. I knew you were a different culture. Hey, Adam, I don't know how you didn't know that. I actually, that to be fair, I actually don't make any anime references, but absolutely. Everyone should check the band Creepy Nuts. Yes, that's the group that did the Don Don Don, and I can't remember the other anime theme song, but Omar, I'll tell you one thing which is hilarious, is that the theme song, not for Don Don Don, but the other anime they did, that played everywhere in Japan when I was there, absolutely nonstop, every day in every store that I passed by. Like, when we were in Osaka, I think there was like 9 different stores, and it was like playing them at different times. It was wild. Any projects you are working on, maybe any hints if you're not comfortable disclosing? No, I'm with projects, I'm pretty good. Right now we sent a creative brief to a talent agency in Louisiana, so I'll be doing some stuff with some NFL athletes that's going to play at the marketing gala that's right before the Super Bowl. So I go to Louisiana the first week of February to shoot that with my boy Lamar. So if you are in Louisiana and you're into filmmaking, I might hit you up. Something came in the house, and I'm going to find out what it is in a bit. What else was there? CES, there's no project in CES. There's another thing in February that I can't mention. But the third thing is I'm going to Maui, which is going to be kind of cool. Matt, am I watching One Piece? No, that's too much commitment. I don't think I could do it. I keep telling myself I can, and I think it's Mappa. I don't know who's animating it, but I think someone's animating like an abridged One Piece. If they do, then I'll watch it. But outside of that, you couldn't pay me to do it, man. Gimbal suggestions. Here's the thing. I am very partial to DJI gimbals because I'm financially incentivized to tell you the DJI gimbals. So take whatever that is what you will. I also have a review on a Zhuin gimbal. But both of those companies have given me money in order for me to tell you that they're great gimbals. So, and also they're the only gimbals I've used. So there's that. So do with that what you will. When shooting log in FX30, do you overexpose by +2? No. I use Cine, which technically speaking, if you're using Cine right, you will overexpose by a little bit. But when you're using Cine as a guide, that overexposure may vary. So I usually use that as a North Star. Question I always like to ask other filmmaker: what's the dream for you? DP, directing, narrative, doc, or YouTube? I'm not a good director. I feel like I'm the opposite. Like, me and Cameron are very opposite in this way, where he doesn't necessarily like to be in camera department. He kind of wants to take more of a directing role, where I like that thing because it's very problem solving, and that's something my brain works that way. So it would be DP. I think right now where YouTube is, though, like, I think where I want to take things, instead of like, yes, there's still gonna be documentation of doing that, but I also want to like apply some of those skills and techniques to my interests, instead of making videos about how to be a DP, because I still, like, I have not grown as much as I need to take an expert position. So I document stuff, but also, like, I have interest in photography, and you might see very cinematic photography videos. I like cars, or I like my car at least. One of the things I want to do is I want to lose a bunch of weight this year. You might see videos about that, and applying those cinematography skill sets, and also wanted to be like more of a commercial director and work on commercial doc projects. Like, I want to apply the skills now. I feel like there's a lot of things on YouTube, and even myself, that have taught you the skills. Well, like, it's now me to, I got to do the skills to reinforce the fact that those things are valuable. But also, I think YouTube is going to be here to stay. And I think it's at its infancy from a filmmaking standpoint of what you can do with it. I'm not going anywhere on this platform. Like, maybe when I'm like in my mid 40s, which is still like, I don't know, like 13, 14 years away. But I think there's a lot you could still do on here, and I don't think it's going anywhere. And I think that for us, it's only going to become better, if that makes any sense. Can I ask you something? How does the 1080 video look on the FX30? Tommy, I'm gonna be so real with you. In the 14 months that I had it, I couldn't tell you if I used it in real life, to be honest. I've used it for like testing purposes, but I've not used it in like a significant way enough to give you a heads or tails answer. But I'm assuming it does, as well as a crop sensor camera. I don't think it's downsampled at 1080. It looks as good as that. You may as well just use 4K. You got it. Can you hold up the Fuji and get a live comparison? Comparison to what? If you mean the Nikon ZF, I don't have it yet. I pick it up in Vegas. The music in Arcane and pacing is my... Arcane, if you have not watched Arcane and you want to get into any sort of animated TV show, Arcane is the perfect show to watch, especially if you're a cinephile, or like you like cinematography and stuff. It's great. Just watched an old movie, Exorcism of Emily Rose, before the stream. Chaudhry, don't make me feel old, because if that's an old movie, I'm a dinosaur, because I remember when that movie came out. I had a hunch you were into anime, because most dudes who are into tech and stuff are easily... Yeah, anime is a very easy thing to get into. I grew up on comic books and anime for most of my life, and I think that's why, like, storytelling for me came from watching anime, because it's weird watching, like, these animators take these ridiculous concepts and make it to a fully fleshed 400 episode show and have a fan base from it. So absolutely, man, hearing freelance stories, I need to hire you as a coach, on or off topic, going to NAB this year. Preston, yeah, I'm gonna I do want to put up a lot more freelance stuff. I did a ton of work in the fitness industry, and I think imposter syndrome sometimes makes me forget that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do coaching per se, but I'm always down to have a conversation. I talk a lot, as you guys could see. NAB, absolutely. There's a high chance I'm going to drive from Toronto and do a bunch of videos along the way. So that might be a new series. DJ, hey, we'll buy an Osmo Pocket 3 because Kofi, give him the monies. Hey, you know what's hilarious, Omar, is I think you're one of the few people that know I have an Osmo Pocket 3, because I've only mentioned it in 2 Instagram reels. And DJI sent me one, but after I bought one, because I didn't think they were going to send one, and then the one that I bought got stolen in Winnipeg, and now we're here. But I want to use the Osmo Pocket 3 a bit more. It's a really solid camera. Any tips for creating a pitch deck for spec projects? Not really. I mean, like, just treat it like it's any other job, and then just make the price zero, really. Like, however you pitch regular clients, and I mean, if you haven't pitched regular clients, I guess that's a different conversation, but however you would do that, just do that, but just make the price nothing, and kind of have some sort of, like, what you want out of the project as well. Like, one of my big things with working spec that I learned the hard way was I was always doing things for the person at the other end, but I didn't think about, like, what I actually wanted out of it outside of the finished product, but I had to work to make the finished product anyway. So if you are going to pitch for some stuff, just be very transparent on what you want to get out of it, and also, like, shoot higher for what you want to get out of it so you maximize what you get. Thoughts on the Typox Chimera C? They're affordable. I have not been able to use one yet. I've been kind of back and forth with not DJI, DZO about using them. I haven't got my hands on them yet. So when I do, I'll have a better opinion about them. I really feel uncomfortable about having strong opinions about something that I haven't used yet. So once I do, I'll let you know. Can you give an advice? Oh, okay. Sorry. Can you give an advice? I'm going to buy the Blackmagic Pixis. Not sure about the lens. I'm struggling with budget. I'm thinking about the 7 Artisans. Jisoo Panphilly. I hope I said that right. I'm really bad as someone who hates getting my name mispronounced. What's the price on the 7 Artisans? I think for right now, if you could afford it, I would say pick it up. Like, if you could afford it and you start working right away, I would say, like, cop the thing that's going to get you to work right away in your budget, and then just work your way up. Because, like, it takes a couple of projects to get the differential of what you need. And, like, yeah, you might have to take an L on selling it used and doing that round robin, but at the same time, like, you wouldn't be able to have the money to get the thing in the first place if you didn't have the kit you bought today to do the thing in the first place. So I hope that made sense. If you were to restart your channel, what would you do differently? Absolutely nothing. Maybe I'd have more video, like I'd have things kind of updated for the modern day. But realistically, I think if the channel deleted itself, I think there'd be a video that the channel did delete itself. And then I just go back to my regular scheduled content. I might batch record a bunch of stuff again. Like I might have a higher output like I did previous years. I think on average, I've put up about like between shorts and long form content, I think I've posted like 160 videos or something like that. So I might do one of those again. But realistically, I would just do whatever I did in year 1 of when I started YouTube. If it restarted, I would just do that again. Didn't even born when that movie was released. Oh, Mr. Chaudhry, then damn, you young. I'm old, but you know, black don't crack. It is what it is. Corvington, if you were to start over again and needed to get clients as a freelancer, what would be your steps? Also, any AI tools you use nowadays for your business. So if I was to start all over again, I would do back that thing that I said before where I would try to make case studies instead of spec projects. Because if I like start all over again, I'm assuming I get the energy back that I had when I first started, where I would do photo, video, I'd have a behind the scenes video, and I'd have like a write-up of like the project and like the scope and scale. And I would only have maybe like 8 of those. And I would kind of work on that a little bit for a few months. And that would be on my website, and I would send that link to as many people as I can. In terms of AI tools, I found one, and I keep forgetting. I think it's like LTX Studios that helps make storyboards, and that's really cool because I don't like I'm not good at directing, and I typically when I have an idea, I'll send it to a director, and they'll kind of flesh things out. But that's a good way for you to practice stuff because it'll help you get like a shot list, and like if you put some of your prompts in, it'll help you get a little bit of a narrative so you know at least where to start. I would use LTX Studios. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. If there's any like AI audio adjustments, I'd use those. I think that's pretty much it. Like I feel like the AI tools that are available now are a lot of the post-production side of things and like how to plan out a shoot. There isn't anything where I'm like, oh shoot, like I need that and it's made my life so much easier. So yeah, there's that. The pod with that was amazing. Love that kind of conversation. NK, thank you, man. Wait, Kofi, click the add to broadcast button under a comment and hang on a second. Click the add to broadcast button under a comment. Oh, wait. Oh, hey, there we go. My bad. Okay, yeah, we learning on here. Guys. We figuring it out. And there's also 45 of you. There's 45 of you and 36 likes. That's pretty dope. It's almost 1:30 a.m. I'm here in India. Good night. Mr. Chaudhry, have a good night. Hey, get your rest and hit the day tomorrow, bro. Does being a bad director as they make you feel give you stress or anger? Oh, like, do I get, like, do you, like, having a bad director make me feel stressed or a little bit angry? I mean, like, for sure. I mean, there's definitely frustrations when, and anything too, right? Like, if you're on any sort of team and you feel like you're pulling more weight than somebody else that's on your team, you're obviously going to feel a little bit of frustration for that. So it's like anything else. Like if even if you're on like crew and like, someone that's there isn't necessarily pulling their weight, like it becomes a little bit frustrating because you're kind of putting in your best effort and somebody else isn't. But at the same time, if somebody is an experienced director, like that's fine with me because I'm not a super experienced DP. Like I got a camera in like 2018, 17, maybe. Like I haven't shot that much, so from where I am right now, it's a little bit more easy to accept if like someone doesn't know everything because I don't know everything. So, love from South Africa, getting the FX30 soon because of reviews and knowledge. Hey, Jacob, enjoy it. South Africa is beautiful. I am very jealous of how much money you can use to get real estate there, and also some of the workmanship that's on there. My mom actually, it's super funny. My mom watches a lot of like South African real estate videos to figure out how we want to design our property, and I think she has that on just like a continuous playlist. So shout out to you. I'm gonna run outside and check what I got because I heard somebody rang the doorbell to deliver something, so I want to go and check out what it is. But also, I probably should plug my laptop into somewhere where I could charge it to. The hell. Love my MacBook, but it dies fairly quickly, even though it's one of the new ones. Okay, we might have a live unboxing on here. I love the fact that the DJI mic works anywhere. Oh, I know what this is. Hello. What? Nothing. Never mind. Not gonna lie to you guys. Kind of smells like ganja in my living room. And the only one there is just my girlfriend sitting there minding her own business. Oh, keep clicking to see new comments. Cam, you know what? I don't know how to do this live stream thing, okay? Naka, have you used the Pixel in low light? If so, what are your thoughts? I've used the full frame Cine in low light. I wouldn't. If you try to use it in low light like an FX3, you're gonna have a terrible time. But yeah, I would definitely just consider using lights in there. Pixis is not a camera where you want to just go around in low light willy-nilly. Okay, so we were talking about physical products. We were talking about some things. So you got to put another one in the chat if y'all want to see something that has not been released yet. I actually have not seen what it is. Like, I know what it is, but I haven't seen it in person. So I'm looking to deeply learn how to color grade, but I don't know where to start. Any advice, by the way? I'm listening all the way from France. Mon ami. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at color grading, I think Darren Moston. I get the name wrong, but I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Gray hair, glasses, super nice dude. I think he's from Australia. He's really good if you want to start color grading. Look how cinematic he looks out of focus. Hey, Kim, you know what? I told y'all to let me know if I am not sharp, and you guys are bad friends if you guys don't tell me when I'm not sharp. So, did someone give me a dislike? I mean, I guess that's a thing. It happens, bro. 111 super chat, $5. Race mode travels. Kofi's a blessing of the new year and to your continued growth. Thank you for sharing the knowledge and keep creating fun. Coffee on me. Hey, respects. Thank you, man. I don't drink coffee, but I'll buy other stuff with that. As Brad Pitt said, what's in the effing box? Okay, so we're gonna figure this out. I gotta work on putting that broadcast stuff up. Darren is from the UK. My bad. I get Australian and British accents mixed up all the time. And also, I think because Now, keep in mind, I don't know if I'm not supposed to tell people about this, but I've been working on this for a little bit. And, I mean, someone already told, like, you know, someone already kind of leaked other creators' collabs. I didn't bring a box cutter, so... what lens are you currently using? What lens are you currently using? Oh, I'll just hang on a second. What lens are you currently using? It's dope. Cheers from Serbia. Dang, Serbia. 45 millimeter Blazar Remus lens. Live product one. Someone just typed out one. That's great. What's in the box? I bet it's the new FX30 Mark II. Yeah, with these Condor Blue stickers on it. I wish it was the FX30 Mark II. Dang, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so I got the Hollywood handle back. I was only borrowing this for a little while. Hang on, am I out of focus again? Yeah. Got this back. I was borrowing it for a while. They needed it, and I needed it back again. And hey, thanks. Are you doing lives more often? Yes, I probably will whenever I'm at home, and you know, I have time. Okay, so. Oh, they have different colors. That's dope. Okay. All right. So, y'all, 47 of you. I probably should explain. Yeah, you know what? It's soon. We've been working on these. These are suction cup mounts. This is my first product collab, and I'm going to test them out in the last little bit. We've been working on suction cup mounts with Condor Blue since I bought my car. And once I bought my car, I think one of the things I wanted to do was film more in my car. And I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't know if I'll get in trouble. But I wanted to get mounts for them. I wanted to kind of have an ecosystem where I could film things a little bit more without stressing out about mounting and stuff like that. And that's where these came from. So we have been working on these. I won't tell you the name of them just yet, but these are like my own designed suction cup mounts. There's going to be a bunch of other things in a kit for just mounting your camera to stuff, not just for automotive. And we'll be working on that for the next couple of weeks. I figured if I tell you guys in the live stream now, when you see a video, maybe you have some dollars you want to put away to pick them up for yourself. So there's a lot of work that's gone into it, a lot of back and forth. I think I have the original version somewhere, and it looks vastly different. But I want to add a little bit more cinematic angles, I guess you want to call it, into videos. And a way of solving that problem is to make something for myself, which was one of these guys. So a full video will be coming up soon. Don't tell people that I did that. This is for you guys only. But yeah, my first product collab is a suction cup mount ecosystem. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in this box that goes with it. It'll take me a while to unbox it, but that's what's being worked on for this year. I got a kidney to spare. It will be under $100. So if that helps at all, it'll be under $100. Robert, here's the thing with what you just said, Robert. That was the running name until I figured if professionals used it, it would sound ridiculous, and I would hate to hear my own name. Oh, hang on one second. Yeah, that would that would sound ridiculous if professional DPs started using it and AC started mounting at their cars and be like, "Hey, pass me the Kofi cup." That would sound ridiculous. Can it be my $5 deposit? I mean, like, we could work something out. We got Kofi suction cups before GTA. We got Kofi suction cup before GTA. Don't kill me. Confidentiality broken. Technically, I didn't sign an NDA, so I have not signed a non-disclosure agreement per se, actually at all. So who knows? Since you don't drink coffee, hey, you know what? It might. Bless. Yeah, so it's not going to be like, the idea was to try to make them as affordable as possible, but also make them super sturdy and very professional. We didn't necessarily reinvent the wheel. Like, a suction cup mount's a suction cup mount, but one of the things I wanted to do was make something that was solid, and also I wanted to have something that was my own, which is kind of dope. But yeah, it took a long time. It was a little bit of a wait, But yeah. But there's that. So yeah, so there's new stuff coming up. There's new Nikon cameras, new product launches. I know a lot of you guys asked about getting, what's it called? Pixis LUTs. I'm working on those. I had another session of cam slapping sent into me about talking about LUTs. Sometimes with digital products, I get into my own head, but then I also, in the same breath, don't. I'll promote, like, I'll do a sponsor video, no problem, but then I won't promote my own stuff, so I'm going to start working on that as well. Waiting for the Dizado Kofi lens set. Yo, Kadeem, if that happens, bro, I'll be talking so much trash. But no, Dizado's been dope, man. Like, I have a Dizado hat. I usually wear it, but yeah, that's been dope. It's okay. Armando has Mondo tie. You can have Kofi cups. Truthfully, man, I thought about it. I really did, but I think I wanted to. I don't think I have a big enough name with enough weight in it that anybody outside of like this live stream would know what that means. Edmund, to be honest with you, I didn't have an NDA. I didn't sign one, so I don't know if I'm not supposed to say anything. So, and it's only the people in this live stream that'll know. So, yeah, it is what it is. How much weight will it be able to hold? How much weight will it be able to hold? So I'm going to double test it. So I have like a bunch of them. I'm going to have some ratchet straps onto it. And I think in testing, we got like well over 100 pounds, which I think is when you have like two of them. If you have like two of them, like ratchet straps between two walls. Yeah, it was well over a couple hundred, like 100 and something pounds. So I'm going to test it out for myself. But there's been times where like I ceiling mounted a light with a softbox on it. And it didn't hold forever, but it was quite a long time. So I want to see if these final production ones will hold up the same way. Logan Webb. I've been loving the photo content on YouTube and Threads. Been a video guy for years. But I've been loving photography recently. Dropped off my first roll developed for a couple minutes ago. Hey, you got to post those on Threads, bro. We want to see what that looks like. When I cop them, I'm still going to call them Kofi Cups. I feel like people are going to do that, and that's going to be the unofficial but official name. What would be a good Sony FX30 run and gun setup? Hey, Alton Roundtree, my friend. Do you not know me? Huh? Do I look like joke to you? Eh? I have 68 videos on the Sony FX30 with rig builds and everything there. And you have not checked them to be able to determine the things you need. Go and see the video, but also I have made one for you already. There's a couple of ones you can see. So I want you to go through the channel, just type in FX30 Kofi, and he'll be able to show you the ones you need. Hope you do. Oh. That was also for this comment. I'm really bad at these broadcasting things. Hope you're doing well, Kofi. Still glad to see you have the I'm Think I'm Sick show and keep the good work. Hey, that was a while ago, but hey, respects, my friend. Yo, so I'm gonna have to invest. Hey, yo, Roman. So I'm gonna be putting it through the ringer. I've been using the prototypes for a while. I accidentally lost one of them in Vancouver, and it'll be a cool video. It's gonna come up soon, like real soon, like a couple weeks. So that'll be fun. Hey, Preston, I appreciate that, bro. One thing I recommend when you guys do, if you guys do get your hands on them, is to try them in everywhere but a car mount, because that's something that I want to kind of I was interested in. Is using them in a car mount situation, like in a non-car mount situation, like mounting them to windows and ceilings and stuff to get different angles. So give that a try. When I had the FX30, that Sigma 18 to 50 held me down. Honestly, man, like I sold my FX30 a while ago, and I rocked the FX3 for a bit. To kind of handle a lot of my freelance client retainer stuff. But I don't like a lot of that stuff. I think I could do on the Pixis now, which makes me question why I have an FX3. I looked at getting an FX30, and I think B&H has like a really reasonably priced kit That's a good combo. I mean, like if it's a little bit wider, like if it was like a 10 to, I guess like a 10 to 40. I don't even know if that's a real focal length. That'd be dope. But no, it's really good. Real Kofi showing here. Yeah, no. So I have a phony baloney accent, although my whole family speaks Chi, which is a Ghanaian language. I'm born in Canada, so most of my accent and stuff when I do that, that's just me fooling around, and also because like I've heard them with their accents so much that like I've adopted it. So my Chi is really bad. I have to be in Ghana for like a month to get the language back, but yeah, it's cool. Also, if I ever get signed to like an indefinite sponsor with like Squarespace or something, kind of like Squarespace Pete, I have an interesting character for those ad reads, Kente and all, but we'll see if that ends up ever happening. Oh, the Keon Coleman spot looked legit. Groovy, I'm really happy that you liked it. Like you like it. I thought I had a lot of fun. I think one of the things that bugs me, and it'll be in another video, it'll be in this month's video actually, is how little time we had to shoot with it versus how long I prepped for it. Because I think that shoot was in November or end of October, and I started prepping for that shoot in August. And I went through pretty much everything you would do for a commercial prep, and a lot of that, because of the time constraint, kind of like went down the toilet, and I kind of had to go back to the roots of like what I didn't want to do, but we made the most of what we had, right? And like it felt kind of bad because like I had bugged Cook for some lenses, and like I got a whole bunch of stuff, and it was a job on the Pixis, and like I could have done it on something a lot smaller, but because I prepped for it and then unforeseen circumstances happened, that bugged me a lot. But then at the end of the day, like the client loved it. It turned out great. The audience liked it. So a lot of like my personal opinions go out the window. But that's going to be a video that's going to come out, if today's the 3rd, in like a week and a half, where I talk about that a little bit more. What's your desert island camera lens combo? Like if I'm stuck in a desert island, I don't know if I'm worrying about cameras, to be honest with you. I mean, like, I probably would rock like an FX3, and then like, I don't pick one lens, like maybe like a 24-70 with a good ND filter and some good audio. Like if I was stuck on a desert island, I would probably not want to carry a lot of stuff, so that would probably be it. And like the FX3 size to quality is probably on the better side of things. So yeah, I think that's what would be it. Also depends, like, do I have a car? Do I have food? Like, do I have other supplies? And it's just like the camera. Like, I need circumstances. But I think an FX3 with a 24-70 is cool. Love your videos, man. Big love for anamorphic live streaming. But my eye is tricking me, or is your lens not perfect aligned to your sensor? Might be perspective. Looks a little bit off angle and stretched. You are correct, and you're the only one to catch it. But I'm using a adapter that might be missing a bolt that I broke. And it's like 3 degrees like on the other side. So although we are level, our de-stretch is weird. And now everybody cannot unsee it. Kai, you've ruined everybody. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to need a Kofi review of that GFX fixed lens camera when it drops. I hope I get it. I hope I get hands on it. I would love to. I'm going to have a lot more of the GFX 50R videos coming out, so maybe Fuji will let me borrow one. They've been pretty good at like letting me borrow stuff, because the 100 Mark II, despite the fact that I never made a video about it for like 6 months, let me borrow it and take it outside of the country. So hopefully we get a, what's it called? Hopefully get one. Who's another athlete you'd love to work with? I'm trying to think, because I had an idea and I wanted to pitch one. Oh my God, I forgot who it is. I mean, like Josh Allen, in terms of what he's been able to do with the Bills, has been great. I think his name's Josh Allen. I keep forgetting. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like I've done so many stuff with athletes that like you're kind of desensitized. I would love to do a project with like Adrian Peterson when he was in his prime. Because that man ran for like 2,500 yards, essentially limping because he had ACL surgery and decided to still play a full season. I think I've caught up to every single comment. Yeah, man. I have a silly question for you guys. In terms of people that are looking for ways to kind of get into YouTube for 2025 as like a filmmaker or a photographer or anything like that, Here's an open invite to ask as many questions as you possibly want, because that was the whole point of this video. And then we went off on tangents. I might have really screwed up the secrecy of a collab, but who knows? Who cares? Now you guys all have to buy it, but yeah. Do I need to pay for LTX Studio, or can I survive on the free version? Corvington, I don't know. Right now I'm using the free version. I don't know when that free version decides that it is going to change its... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Let me put this up. I don't know when that is going to change its mind. So, hopefully you can. Hopefully you can survive on the free version. I've yet to be able to figure that out. So if it stops working for me, I'll let you know. Yeah, all day, man. That guy was that was the guy. Like when I was playing fullback, I was like, when I grow up, I want to be Adrian Peterson. But obviously that didn't happen. So that GFX 100 Mark II is seriously one of my favorite cameras. I finally started using it for YouTube after a year. Rob, man, so the photo that you like, it's not on now because my laptop's obviously in front of me, but in multiple videos, the photo that's on my desktop is a photo that I took at like me, Cam, Armando, and stuff. We did like a Cowboys versus Aliens Cybertruck shoot, and that was on the GFX 100 and the 5517, and that was like the first time I used it, and that was probably my like best day of photography, I would say, to date. And that's what got me into that's what got me hooked in the GFX system. I was sold in like April, but I wish I had GFX 100 Mark II money, which I don't have. Michael Taylor, I'm doing great. I'm not sure if you asked, but I think somebody asked like how I'm genuinely doing. I'm doing good. I think it's a new year where you get to kind of determine what you want to do with your creative life. And instead of everything being in such a rush and you kind of get thrown into things you don't want to, I feel like I have more control over how my life goes. So I feel good. Thanks for asking. Andre, the paid Lancer, started planning for my first one. Now, what do you do? Now, what do you think makes a good video? I think what makes a good video collapses the distance between what the audience wants and what you're willing to give. Now, that sounds like a preachy, hand-wavy way of saying do whatever makes you feel good. But at the end of the day, I think with a good video, like you'd be so surprised in what's like a good value prop for someone that's looking for something. As long as you are able to answer a question that somebody wants and you're able to entertain them while doing it, I think that makes a pretty quality video. However you do that is up to your own personal unique style and personality. But at the end of the day, like people will come in to have their questions answered, but they'll stay for the personality that answers it for them, which is like, I think through analyzing the Fuji video, because I don't do photography content often. I think because of doing almost 70 videos on the FX30, which is a camera people might have had issues with, either like buying it or not knowing how to use it. I think because that value was kind of put up front. Now, when I make other things about other things that aren't necessarily FX30, there's a sense of like, oh, that person has given me value. I could only assume that the next thing that I've gotten value from consistently is also going to be valuable as well. How much time should a beginner block off to make a batch of YouTube content videos on YouTube? I didn't have hard set rules when I started batch recording content. I just kind of decided that like the first 4 or 5 days of the month is going to be just me filming and editing YouTube videos and then kind of going from there. And the way that I did is I really try to like intersect it with like the freelancing that I was doing. So when I was doing videos, it was based on projects that I had coming up or ones that I already did. So it was a little bit easier to do it that way. I don't think there's a set time. I think it depends on like how much time do you have, right? Like if you're a 20-year-old and if you're 20 something years old and you only just graduated and you have all the time in the world because you're not working, then you have, I don't know, 7 days a week to do it. If you're someone who's a family man with kids, you have a 9 to 5, then like you obviously have less time. Been rocking the X106 and having those built-in sim profiles in Lightroom feels like a cheat code. Hey, Logan, I got a question for you in Lightroom because whenever I put my film sims on it, when I try to edit the raw, it like goes back into a weird like color profile. I don't know how to stop that, and I actually since deleted Lightroom yesterday. And I've just been using Capture One because it actually holds up whatever I put in the film sim, and I could like grade the raw underneath. If you know how to fix that, let me know. I might download Lightroom again. But yeah, film sims, especially when you dial in some of those recipes, man, like it looks great. My laptop screensaver is a slideshow of all my GFX pics, and I catch people watching it all the time. Hey, man, I'm telling you, I feel like certain camera brands are really good at different things. Fuji is very good at making camera bodies that are able to capture moments that you will show off to people, and they make it as easy as possible. Ramon, you were serious yesterday. You're shooting live in anamorphic. Hey, if I say I'm going to do it, it's either because I've done it or it's about to happen. And also because I called Cam and Terry and I made them help me figure out how to do this. What's a hot take you want or hope to see change on YouTube? I'm going to say this candidly, and I'm going to say this as nice as I possibly can. I would like grown adults to act like grown adults. I think with this year in particular, and I don't know if it was because of the Lumix trip or whatever the case might be, but we're seeing people that are way too old to be acting the way that they do. And then when people respond to those things, kind of demonizing the person for responding to it instead of just correcting the poor behavior to begin with. I would hope that in 2025, and again, most of my audience is over the age of 25 and below the age of 55 or 54. These are people that are going to be leaders of families, people that are going to vote, people that can go to war and die for the country, and people that have like a certain level of responsibility as a grown adult, that some of the things that happen on social media, particularly on YouTube, is unbecoming. And I hope that changes in 2025. I know that's asking for a lot, and I know some people want to say that that's being real or saying what needs to be said. But there's two things. Like, one, you can tactfully critique something without having a weird amount of vitriol for a stranger, but also at the same time, you can define and redefine your own existence without putting into contrast with what other people are doing. You don't have to say, I'm this person and I'm not like these other guys, because you could just be that person and show that off instead of trying to always put it into comparison with somebody else, especially when they're complete strangers. So I hope that's not a hot take, but I just hope that, some of that stuff stops, because truthfully, like in my eyes, to be honest with you, I think we're too old for it. So that's the only time I'll talk about, like, the YouTube drama that's gone on. What's the proper color for faces and skin tones when using false colors on an analyst monitor? Carlos, it kind of depends on the log space you're using and the camera you're using. If you're on S-Log3, and I think I remember this correctly, if your IRE, when you add a Rec 709 LUT on top of it, I think it's like 45-ish IRE, which you can find on your phone's color. I could be wrong. I think there's an exposure video that I have that might actually get it accurate for S-Log. I think you're using S-Log, but it's not, for me, like I don't use 70 as my marker for skin tones on false color when I'm using S-Log3. Let's go to here. We got some really solid questions. This is awesome. Get to the heart. How do you balance quality, creating B-roll, rich docu-style videos with lots of planning, and getting videos out? I host a podcast, which is minimal post-production, but want to do a Johnny Harris style video. I don't know who Johnny Harris style is, but plan ahead, man. Like, I think one of the big things with what I like doing is I'll like batch record A-roll, cut it up, and like leave markers on that video, and that becomes a shot list that I'm looking for. And that makes it way easier to be able to to figure out the shots that I need. And then I just take my time with getting those shots later on. And sometimes it's like a reference to a job, and I'm just waiting for the BTS footage to come back, and then all I need is like the BTS and the final stuff. Plan ahead, and I think get the stuff out of the way that's easy to do, which is usually going to be talking head, and plan for B-roll a little bit later. Now you can do this like in the front end if you already know what's going to happen or how things are going to go, and then if something does go differently, then you like get that clip and then you put that in there and you could change things up. But yeah, plan ahead. The thought is to research and talk through my ideas on how to leverage creative community and Christianity. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is the same thing. Plan ahead. I think with any niche or anything you're doing, just plan it ahead and get the stuff that you can do right away out of the way as soon as possible. we're talking about that Fuji video earlier. Every time you hear an email notification, it is someone commenting on that Fuji video, which is kind of cool. Lightroom isn't automatically applying a correct film sim profile. You should be able to edit that on top of it and auto apply. It can't bring in all the aspects of the recipe though. Great. Yeah, mine doesn't do any of it. Like the color dramatically shifts all the way the other way. Even if I put the raw photo on like my phone and try to use Lightroom Mobile, it doesn't do it either. So I straight up just started using Capture One instead. As much as I keep creating, I want to be a full-time on YouTube. All the drama that's been going on in the filmmaking space has been so draining. What happened to artists supporting artists? What happened to artists supporting artists is that statement was limited to whenever it was inconvenient to do so. And sometimes the inconvenience comes in the form of being envious of somebody else having something that you want. And that's what ends up happening, right? Like a lot of times when you have these conversations, and sometimes like I'll engage in them from time to time, mostly as like a temperature check, but oftentimes it comes down to people that felt like they were deserved something, not getting that something, and making it everybody else's problem. So that's the unfortunate part of what's happened in 2025. Been away for a bit. I feel like I'm missing something with all the drama going around. Rob, honestly, it's not worth your time. It's not worth your time. You're onto way bigger and better things. I might explain to it off stream, but realistically, I think what's happened is there are people that have been on the platform for a while, or people that have been there for not a long time, but there are filmmakers that have a unique amount of experience outside of the platform that I think came into the platform under the assumption that having that experience should garner a large audience just on the virtue of their experience. But like with YouTube, and you know this as well, man, like you still have to have a personality, you still have to have tact and candor, you still have to give value to other people and stuff like that outside of trying to find ways to poo-poo on everything. And unfortunately, some people are learning the hard way. And while they're watching other people grow and they think that they should have that position, instead of working on kind of themselves, instead of working on oneself, they're talking about other people. And it's not even a single digit number. Like I think there are a couple of like bigger kind of back and forths that have happened, but there's a whole bunch of smaller ones too, which is super weird. And it's almost become like a trend, which is weird. Logan, I might message you off stream because I got to figure if I can figure out the Lightroom thing, or if you ever have time to send a screen record, whenever. There's no timeline for like 2 minutes. Let me know. Need you to know, Kofi, Terry Warfield is live right now too. Hard choice, but we're here. Hey, Azrael, tell Terry get off that. Tell Terry to get off it for like 20 minutes. Actually, you know what? Let me go into Terry right now. What you doing, Terry? I'm gonna call this man right now. I'm gonna call Terry live on stream. Interrupted my show. You think I'm not gonna do this? I'm gonna call him right now. I'm putting him on speaker. I hope he answers. Terry Warfield, pick up your...
Yes, my man.
Hey, Mr. Warfield. And I heard you're on live right now. I can't see it, but I heard you're live right now.
I am live, sir.
So am I. And now you're making it real hard for you're making it real hard for people to decide who their favorite melanated brother on YouTube is right now.
Hey.
You're making it really difficult. You know that, right? Like things are going well, the super chats are coming in, and suddenly I'm watching the little eyeballs on my stream go down. And honestly, someone snitched on you and told you that, Terry's on live right now. Hey, hang on. How long have you been on stream? Because I could wrap up right now and I'll jump on yours.
It's 50. I've been on for 51 minutes.
51? I've been on for like an hour and 51 minutes. I've been on for like twice as long.
You need to shut up and hang up.
Hey, you know what? I'll wrap this up. I already done, I might have snitched on myself in this live stream. But I'll be on your live stream in like 5 minutes.
Man, I didn't even know you were streaming either. So.
Hey, this is
Much love, bro. I'll talk to you in a second.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up in 5 minutes. I did say that it's been like almost 2 hours. I should have done something better. I can't believe that just happened. Let me get these last couple questions, and then I'm gonna wrap up the stream. We gonna jump on Terry's in a bit. We actually have been talking about possibly making like you know how kids watch Saturday morning cartoons and they got like a schedule. You can watch like Sonic and then Digimon or whatever the case might be. Like a couple creators might actually do that. It'd be kind of like TV. So is it worth spending a lot of time planning and producing a high quality video, or is putting out quality with minimal post? Guess that's really what you're passionate about making. Yeah, man. I think you got to do like find a balance between the two. But like I do something called like a first and 10 and a first and 10 and a fourth and long or fourth and 1. First and 10s are like videos where it's very low risk. You're still moving forward, but you're not overextending yourself, and that sets you up to very later on when you want to put more time into production in order to do that. Only people I would watch just because includes Greg Fraser, Denis Villeneuve, Guillermo del Toro, Coran Chivo. I would wish that those guys would get on YouTube more often. I would love to see what would happen. Hey, Logan, thank you, man. I got to figure that out. Yeah, that happened. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, Azrael, you're about to see a follow-up video in Vegas when I see Terry, and it's gonna be we settle it with fisticuffs. Dang, you on live, so I was getting a haircut when you started. Hey, Matt, my thing is I'm gonna put a minimum 2 hours on these live streams. They're fun, and like once I'm done, they're done. I don't have nothing to do about them, so. These are fun. Also, we got to talk overlanding and off-road vehicles in the next little bit. I don't know where you're based out of, but I might be taking a road trip sometime. Drove home and logged my PC. Kobe's still on live. Hey, Giovanni, you guys gotta let me live, all right? Trying to get these super chats. That's what I'm. No, I'm just kidding. This is fun, and I like taking like 2 hours on a Friday just to shoot the ish. Oh wait, hold up. Rocky, my G. Much love, man. Awesome to see you grow for real. Time from free to freelancing in the days of YC imaging. I was talking about that earlier in the stream where YC called me, slapped some sense into me, told me to start YouTube, and here we are, bro. But with all that, I'm a wrap up this live stream. I told Terry I'd jump on in 5 minutes. It's been more than 5 minutes, but y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, life-threatening issues, leave in the comment section on the replay. I'm going to fix it up, make sure it looks pretty. But thank you, guys. Oh, yeah, also, what he said, what Giovanni said, what did he say? Don't forget to like the stream. It's free. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I think these lives are probably going to be on a different day so they don't overlap with other creators, so you guys don't have to pick who your favorite is, although I know it's me. I got less hair, but it is what it is. But thank y'all for tuning in for some of you guys 2 hours. But I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll let you know about that, Groovy. All right. I'm out of here.